Welcome, College Hoops fans, to the 2K Sports Season Preview Show. We're glad to have you along for what's sure to be another outstanding season of college hoops action. I'm Greg Gumbel, and with me at the anchor desk, my partner, Clark Kellogg. We're ready to give you a look ahead to all the ups and downs of the upcoming season, so let's get the ball rolling with the best teams in the nation in the very first Top 25 poll of the season. Here are the Big Five, the top teams in the country as we begin the season. The Duke Blue Devils come in as the number one ranked team, followed by Georgia, Boston College, LSU, and Northwestern. What do you think of the top five teams going into the year, Clark?
Sometimes the top players in the nation and the best teams in the nation aren't necessarily together at the top of the poll. But going into this season, we have some of the absolute best players playing on the marquee teams. That's really exciting to me, Greg.
Duke is in the catbird seat to start the season, sitting pretty in the number one spot. They've got a whole crew of high school Mr. Basketballs on this team.
A team is usually happy to land one Mr. Basketball. But with the number they have, this could be a golden era of basketball success at this university. There's nothing but good times ahead.
Georgia is in the number two spot. They're playing in one of the toughest conferences in the nation. How should that affect them, Clark?
That'll work to their advantage, Greg, because they'll have been through so many battles by the time March rolls around, tournament pressure won't bother them at all.
Boston College comes in as number three. Certainly, they'll get a big boost from the return of their leading scorer from a year ago.
That's a big advantage for them. They don't have to spend the first few weeks of the season searching for that go-to guy. They know who he is, and they'll use him.
LSU starts the year as the fourth-ranked team. They had a terrific record last season, finishing with 21 wins.
That says a lot about the team they had last year, but trying to rack up that many wins shouldn't be their goal. They need to focus on just playing good basketball and getting to the conference schedule with a nice head of steam. The wins will come.
Northwestern is the number five team. They carry over three starters from last year, so there shouldn't be too much of a learning curve for this team.
Yeah, they've got the core of that team coming back, and that's going to be huge for them. There won't be much of the filling out process that so many other teams will have to work through early in the season.
Here's the next group of teams in our preseason top 25. What's your impression of that set of teams?
With such a long season ahead of us, it's almost impossible to put a finger on just who the contenders and pretenders are from this set of teams. But that doesn't mean we won't try.
The Miami Hurricanes, the number 13 team, have stirred up a lot of talk in the offseason. From a sheer talent standpoint, this team is right at the top of the charts.
Their roster is jam-packed with former high school All-Americans. They're like a traveling all-star team. It tells you a lot about the appeal of this university to the top high schoolers in the nation.
The Indiana Hoosiers, the number 12 team, have also generated a lot of interest. They have no fewer than three former high school Mr. Basketballs on this team.
There are a lot of differences between the high school and college games, but give me three former Mr. Basketballs, and I think I could field a pretty good team, just like the one we're looking at.
Okay, Clark, let's take a look at the teams that close out the preseason top 25 poll. What do you think of this collection?
This looks to me like the deepest preseason top 25 poll we've seen in years. I think there are teams even all the way back in this group that are legitimate national championship contenders.
The Marquette Golden Eagles, the number 25 team, could be one to watch. Their tournament last year came to an abrupt end with a loss in the second round, Clark.
It can be demoralizing for a team not to get past the first weekend of the tournament. But they've had all summer to forget about that loss and instead build on the positives from last season.
The Connecticut Huskies, the number 21 team, are also worth keeping an eye on. One bit of good news for them, they have last season's leading rebounder coming back for another year.
With that low post presence already established, they'll have a little bit of swagger heading into the season. I look for them to be sharp right from the start.
There was no shortage of movement in the coaching ranks during the offseason. There before you are all the new coaching hires in college hoops. There were some intriguing moves made, that's for sure. The Wisconsin coach is one of the hires that drew a lot of media attention. The Wisconsin Badgers have a lot of fans that are delighted to have a coach of his ability, Clark.
This is a big break for him. He's paid his dues with a lot of stops along the coaching highway, and now it's time for a new beginning. We wish him all the success in the world, Greg. He definitely deserves a fair shot.
The Oregon State coach also made a move to a new school, and that's generated some excitement on that campus. The Oregon State Beavers are a team looking to rebuild under their new leader.
He's never been to the Final Four, but he's hoping that this will be the coaching stop that gets him there. And this university and its fans are hoping the exact same thing.
We've come to the part of the show when we look at the top players in the nation and unveil the list of our preseason All-Americans. There before you are the 5 first-team All-Americans as we begin the season, and what a list it is. The Virginia Tech Hokies are pinning their hopes squarely on this young man's shoulders, Clark.
Lagana is the first player on the list for good reason. It's extremely rare to see a true freshman.
As for our next first-teamer, Cincinnati is more than willing to go into battle with him, Clark.
O'Hara is simply a spectacular player. He can make things happen on the basketball court thanks to his unique ability to read and understand defenses, while most players are just trying to come up with their next move. He's 3 steps ahead of the game, and that's what separates the good players from the great.
Next up is a player that's drawing. Let's move on to a player who's. And finally, we have another. Now let's move on to the second team All-American.